It's the culmination of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. It's the Girls Division Final, and it's the Girls Academy, blue and red, squaring off today, here to kickstart our quadruple header here at the Generation Adidas Cup. As we welcome you here pitch side, I'm Michael Watrain, joined by the Mississippi State legend, Katie Goodman. So great to have you on board for this one. Jeff Hughes said it best. Everybody wants to win a championship, but that first one is a little bit extra special. How excited are you to watch these two teams today?
I'm really excited because a lot of the ladies here may end up on the youth national team for the U.S. side or even adjacent countries, things like that. And so a lot of talent out here today. I already had the chance to watch a Girls Academy Red, saw some really good quality stuff. The last matchup, Red lost to Blue. Now I know Red wants their revenge, so it should be a good one.
This will be a fun matchup to watch these two teams take flight, these all-star teams for the Girls Academy. As we take a look at the red lineup to kickstart things here, what do you see out of this formation of 4-3-3?
Yeah, so although Carolina Bodisiak not starting, in fact, both sides, neither of their goal scorers starting in this one, but there's so much depth here. Hayduck, number 4, center striker. She's one to watch there, really good. Caitlin Moore in goal as well, big-time keeper.
And then you take a look at the starting 11 for this blue side. 6 different players have scored. Maddie Freeman in the start in the goal.
That's right. Sword is one of those ladies on the wing. Really dynamic player to watch. Freeman, another big presence in goal. Had a chance to talk to coach. She mentioned she's come in. She's been confident. She's a very clear leader there in the goal.
So we are ready for action here in the Girls Division Final. The first time ever that these women have played at Generation Adidas Cup with this strategic alliance. Blue starts with possession, and we are underway here, the first of our quadruple header to crown the champions in the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Michael Watrain, Katie Goodman, and our team with you to kickstart our day. It'll be the Girls Division Final, then the U16 Final, the U18 Premier Final, and all capped off with the U18 Championship Final here today. That clearance attempt from Freeman ricochets off of a red body and out, and it is a goal kick. And Katie, when you look at these two sides, they have been solid through the group stage. Top 2 teams with Man City and Bayern Munich finishing 3rd and 4th in the group. And this is an opportunity. You have 80-minute games, a little bit longer than they've played already so far in this tournament. But ultimately an exhibition to watch these talented teams get a chance here on this pitch.
Yes, great opportunity, and it's always kind of tough when you've played a team once before. You kind of know what to look out for. It really is anybody's game when you play a team again so close. And of course it's this kind of friendly rivalry that they have because they're all the same academy, but at the end of the day, like you said, Jeff Hughes, he wants to win, and I think so do all of these girls out here. I mean, imagine 10 years from now, this being one of the biggest tournaments for women's soccer, and they could say they won the first. I think that'd be remarkable.
This is a good run forward here. The pass goes over, and the keeper comes out to smother Caitlin Moore after the lengthy run from Isa Ortiz.
Solid defense there from Girls Academy Red. Had a chance to talk to head coach Jeff Hughes, and he had mentioned our 2 center backs have just been really amazing. Again, some ladies to keep your eyes on there.
A shove and a foul. And it'll be a free kick for the blue side. They did meet in the second game of the group stage. 2-1 win, as you mentioned, for the blue side. Sydney May started the scoring in the 9th minute. St. James equalized in the 20th, and then Maddie Sorge had the game winner in the 40th minute of that contest. Knocked down by Kirsch. Scored that opener against Man City to kickstart this tournament. Castellanos lays it back, and Moore recycles this ball, and a restart here in the attack.
Girls Academy Red loves those early goals. Usually got a few in the first 15 minutes. Of course, peppered all throughout, but when you can start with that kind of mentality, that's just a tough team to go against.
Scored 90 seconds in against Man City. Scored 6 minutes in against Bayern Munich.
And it makes a difference when you come out like that. It just sets the tone, and It's an uphill battle immediately for the other team. It's a mental struggle. But again, two of the best teams here in the tournament, coming from the same source. We talked about how do you recruit these ladies, and they actually cross-referenced their list with the U.S. Youth National Team to see who are their players, what are their depth charts like. And so they actually had 8 ladies on Girls Academy Red get called up.
This ball is taken away. Haydock is inside of the 18, and it's great defending from Paxton Battaglia to sweep it away.
Incredible defending there from Battaglia. I mean, just not doing anything silly, just using her own strength, her body. Great stuff. Coach mentions she is really and truly the leader here in this back line, has just emerged as a natural leader, something that is really perfect there as a center back. Not only a very cerebral position, but requires that leadership, that trust.
Sorg lays it back, and now it whistles wide. Ross slams the brakes on, crosses it through. It's dumming and sent back out towards midfield. Kirsch able to get the angle. One of the fascinating aspects about this team are these two teams is they're teammates for their club seasons, playing against each other here on this field. There's a bunch of different crossovers between these two sides, so bragging rights once they head back to their respective club sides after this as well.
It's always fun, even when you're in college and you play up against an old teammate and you just know everything about them. They're going to press like this. This is their weakness. These are their strengths. And, yeah, but what an opportunity to have multiple players from the same club to show up and represent here.
It's been a good start to this one. Back and forth we go. This girls' division final. To put things in perspective, these two sides had one 40-minute practice before the first match just to try to get to know each other. And Jeff Hughes articulated the fact that you have a lot of these players that are the superstars of their side, but here's a giveaway. A bobble, and it is handled defensively. Used to being those stars of their respective sides, and then you get to the free kicks, you get to some of those important moments, and the coaching staff has to make those decisions. But still, in the end, difficult for some of these players to adjust.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a college experience early on when you're a freshman in college. That's exactly what happens, especially if you go to a big program. You're no longer the dominant force. You have to prove that you can be eventually at some point, but in most cases, competition's pretty close. And, you know, in these situations, it's funny because you grow up and your coaches try to coach you to give more direct verbal cues when you're out there. So I'm 90, I'm up, I'm back, drop. But I bet if I had to guess in a lot of these situations, it's a lot of yeah, because you don't know anybody's name, or you're still learning, or in the heat of the moment you might forget. Maybe some memory games I hope they played, and wonder if any nicknames developed out of this too.
Well, they're both staying in the same dorm here at IMG Academy, so there's crossover in that regard as well. And ultimately, this is an experience that I'm sure for you, when you were younger, you would have loved to have had this kind of chance to be able to play in a tournament like this, one of the best in the entire world for the youth.
Right. I mean, closest for me was, you know, well-known, renowned soccer camps, right? But definitely not with eyes on it like this. This is just next level, and to already know that you're on the list there for U.S. youth soccer recruits is really amazing. And maybe if you weren't on the list, you might be after this tournament. So again, just incredible stuff. And still lots of really good clubs surrounding this as well in those areas. And so I think what they're onto here is really great for recruiting, for all kinds of things, for a lot of those more established clubs in their area.
Kirsch shoots this ball forward. Haydock chases, and Freeman is out. Girls Academy formed a strategic alliance with MLS Next in December of 2024. Founded back in 2020, they've had over 1,200 college commits in their time, roughly 65–70% of those are Division I commits. That ball rolls past Moore, and fortunate that that ball ends up going out. That does go out for a corner instead of going into the back of the net.
Oh, thank God for her. That's unlucky there, and again, happens to the best of us. But I think this is what happens when you get a little bit further into the tournament. Sometimes it's not so much the physical fatigue as it is the mental fatigue, just trying to push through stuff like that. And also had the sun up pretty high, but just got to clean that up.
Emma Peterson gets the honors of the corner kick. The Utah native hooks this ball inside of the 18, and it goes over a couple different bodies, including Soldano, and rolls out on the opposite side of the field for a red throw.
Either push Kelly or drop in and help us. Next time, drop in and help us. Okay? Don't just be at the top of the box free.
Here's a giveaway off the throw. Ross taps it back. Run into the box. Hoffman tries to get the angle, but Frazier intercepts and fires it out to midfield.
Girls Academy Blue, their defense is extremely organized, really intentional. It seems like less reactivity for them. And when you can build out of the back like that, you're just setting everyone else up for success.
Trisha Wellock, the coach of Girls Academy Blue, also coaches Michigan Jaguars, said that her side may be a little bit more organized, while Red is a little bit more high pressing. So a bit of a contrast in styles between these teams. Stalemate so far, roughly 10 minutes in.
Intensity definitely does change things when you've got a team that likes to build out. A good answer for that is a high press mentality, but you got to be really organized even in that high press.
May fires this ball across, and Moore gobbles it up and then shows off the throwing arm. Kirsch tries to turn. She loses possession. Soldano throws it through. Sorg lines it up, thought about taking a hack at it. Instead, Frazier had other ideas. Frazier gives it away. Back to the blue captain, Emma Peterson, as she fires this one forward.
Coach Wellick mentioned a mid-block, and they're just doing so well defending in that area of the field. Forced Girls Academy Red wide multiple times. I'm always amazed at how well these young ladies work together. So young, still learning, still developing, and thrown into this really rare situation to have to work together and be cohesive.
These players of the U16 age group. This ball flung along the field, but it slices out for a red throw. Just beyond the 11-minute mark of this one, it is scoreless in the girls' division final between Girls Academy Red and Girls Academy Blue, alongside Katie Goodman and our fantastic MLS production team. Michael Watrang with you. Good to have you on board for this matchup here today. The first of our quadruple header with trophies on the line to wrap up our coverage of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Castellanos throws it through the middle of the field. There will be hydration breaks in each half of this game.
Weather's starting to tick up a bit, but really it's been so beautiful here this whole week. Never know with Florida, the rain, but not a cloud in the sky the entire week.
Kirsch pilfers, Kirsch races, Kirsch has an angle, Kirsch tucks it past, and it rattles the rope, and Girls Academy Red have the opening goal. Who else would it be than Bristol Kirsch?
Bristol Kirsch scored 90 seconds into that last game. And look at this breakaway. She just takes it on her own. 2v1. It's that angle she's able to find. Slips it right past the keep. Had a fun conversation with Jeff Hughes last game. He said, I told you to watch out for her, didn't I? And I said, you sure did. He said, you made me look really good on that broadcast when she scored last time. And here she is again. Great work there, Bristol.
Such a good run from Kirsch. She broke away from 2 defenders. And then the celebration after.
The Macarena. There you go. Love it. They are vibing.
And the synchronicity of a team that has known each other for all of about 5 days. And the goal for Kirsch is her second of the tournament. She plays for Top Hat SC out of Atlanta.
Sometimes 5 days is all it takes to create core memories and lifelong friendships. These girls might end up playing in college teams together or other academies.
And as you mentioned, maybe the youth national teams or even beyond.
Absolutely, and the options are endless for women nowadays. Between semi-pro, there's a second-tier professional league budding with USLW. And you've got the Women's Premier League abroad. All kinds of leagues everywhere.
Well, the NWSL continues to grow, and then you have the USL Super League as well. Seeing some young players in the Super League compete, and that season's getting ready to wrap up while the NWSL is heating up.
I think that's the way you're really going to build soccer here for women, is just more pathways to pro. I mean, of course, we've dominated on the world stage, but, you know, why stop there? Obviously, this past World Cup, other countries able to catch up with us, and, you know, I don't think it was necessarily that the team wasn't good. It was just other teams stepped up, and so what that means is we have to start here at this level and build.
Spain winning the World Cup in the most recent round, and a lot of those players have made their way to the NWSL as this ball's thrown up top, knocked down by May, tries to get the angle, cannot do so as Walsh knocks her away. A recycle chance here for May as she hooks this ball inside of the box, takes a bobble. Red does enough to get it out, and here's Kirsch, the goal scorer, to reset. I think to your point, when you look at the opportunities that are now available for young women, there was a time where a lot of players thought that college was going to be the peak, that was the end of their careers. There wasn't going to be a chance to play beyond that. And even a lot of national team players, they had to do something else on the side. They had to be the ones that created the space that has now flourished with the opportunities in the professional side. And that exposure has given players like the ones on the field now the hope that they can make something happen. As this shot is carried away by Freeman, Kirsch gets to the second ball as she stumbles to the ground. And Peterson gets it up the field.
Peterson has really handled that right side there. Really great IQ in the right outside back position. That's another thing. At such a young age to see the IQ out here for really all of these ladies. I mean, most kids at this age they're just trying to get to the ball. They're trying to get it forward. Not always a ton of rhyme or reason, but I mean, I think overall that's where the development has happened for youth soccer since my day, many moons ago. But it's just really cool to see this so young and so mature. But
Kaylin Moore will recycle this ball as Red have the early advantage, 1-0 against the blue side here in the girls' division final.
Great movement there. And as you can see, they're just struggling to find a passing lane. So good to be patient, try to move it around till they find something, but gonna have to start connecting passes there. Your Girls Academy Red.
Get up, Delaney.
But yeah, we talk about all the avenues and possibilities for women's professional soccer now. There was a point in time where the top-tier professional league dissolved completely. It was right. Oh.
Here's Kirsch again. Kirsch circles, throws it across. Battaglia there with the response again, and it's the first corner of the match here for Red.
Battaglia, an absolute standout, in my opinion. Sometimes you see ladies out there and they just really pop off the page. I think Battaglia is one of those. She's got a really good awareness for where the goal is. It's a great clearance there, but it's all the stuff she's doing in run of play, and really an important piece for Blue.
Brooklyn St. James, the Arizona native, curls this ball across, high into the sky. Always be weary of the wind. Haydock has the volley fall right into the mitts of Freeman.
Good read there from Freeman as well. Just get really behind it. It's like there's a trip up. But as I was saying, you know, at one point, top tier women's professional league had dissolved. And there was a couple of years where there weren't really even any options, and a lot of those girls ended up in some semi-pro leagues. But now it's so crazy to think about it because the NWSL is so successful. It's the fastest growing sport is women's soccer, and then women's basketball. The amount of investment that they're getting right now is insane.
And it's the quality of the game too. You're not just seeing the investment there for it, but I think that is the byproduct. The investment is breeding a higher talented player, and some of the most entertaining matches you'll watch throughout the season will be from the NWSL and the women's game.
Totally agreed. I mean, the finesse in the women's game really is next level. And, you know, I think what has helped them out a ton too is NIL. In college, a lot of these ladies learning to brand themselves. I mean, even I think a lot of that started on the U.S. women's national team. Mia Hamm, of course, in the beginning, but then you have like Alex Morgan now, all of these really important players that are household names, and you wear their numbers on your back too. And it's cool to see how that's translated to NIL and how that just helps propel all of it forward. And all of that is because it's backed by money and bigger brands, which helps to elevate women's names. So I really love to see what it's done and how it's changed the game.
Well, with a couple changes being made by Blue, we're going to get our hydration break here as well, with Red leading it 1-0. Well, the experience here at Generation Adidas Cup has been second to none, and right when you walk into the facility, there's so many different things to do at the timeout lounge.
It's really neat. I mean, they have video games. I haven't seen that part yet with the photos. Gotta get out there, and that's the game that I want to play right there. But yeah, really cool. They're even selling jerseys out there as well. Just so much that you can do. An absolute activation. That looks like art to me with the cleats.
And of course,
you want to go one-on-one on this game?
If I'd like to lose, I will. I would not perform well. I'd be much better at table tennis than I would with that game. But it really has been a great experience here. You were just mentioning the social media aspect of things. I think that's something that has completely changed. I didn't get on social media until I was almost done with college. Now you have some of these younger people that are starting to develop their followings at such a young age. And, you know, these two teams on their quote-unquote media day got all the gear, got all the swag, and they were doing, you know, their swag reveal.
That is so awesome. I mean, usually it's not till you're getting to college that you're really getting a ton of swag, the hoodies and the shoes and all that. But so cool to see them getting all of that here and early on. And the fact that MLS is the one supporting it, too, is just even better. That allyship is so important.
Tia LeBranc and Lila Shank comes in for Ross and Sorg in the 11 for Blue as they make their initial changes. And part of this Girls Academy matches is to ensure that everybody gets an opportunity throughout the game. And midway through this first half, that's what we see. It's Bristol Kirsch's goal in the 13th minute that has Girls Academy Red out in front 1-0. Here in this Girls Division Final, the first ever Girls Division Final in the Generation Adidas Cup.
sure that poses a unique challenge for coaches as well. You know, not just going in to win, but you want to make sure everyone's getting their time to shine too, especially on such an important platform. Of course, you want to handle business early. You have Bristol Kirsch with the goal, and you talked about social media, and she actually recorded a come along with me to the Generation Adidas Cup and posted a really cool Instagram video, and that's just the difference in our generation and theirs. But I love to see it, and they need to make as much content as humanly possible while they're here, make as many contacts as they can, and because there are many avenues for sport, right? Of course, you want to play your sport, you want to be the best, but things happen, injuries happen, all kinds of things. So do whatever you got to do to stay around the game if you really love it, and sometimes that means building your brand.
Yeah, and that's the point about NIL now, is there used to be a time where you had to rely so heavily on others to build your brand and get your exposure out there. Now with social media, you have the opportunity to post your highlights. You have the opportunity to showcase your skills on those platforms and get in front of coaches to try to get recruited either through the collegiate ranks or into the pro ranks. Castellanos lays it through the middle. McGuire has her pass intercepted. Well, Red have very much handled the plot here through the opening 24 minutes.
I mean, I will say that Girls Academy Blue, their defense for the most part has been really good, but what can you do when it's a 1v1, 1v2 situation with a player like Bristol Kirsch? If she's good with the ball at her feet and that's her bread and butter, she's gonna break through, and that's kind of what it looked like. And in that moment, we're disorganized, and that's all it takes is a blink of an eye. But for the most part, I think Blue have been really calm and composed and able to kind of dictate play, and it's about not letting that goal get to your head and just keep doing more of that and being patient.
Will they be able to level it before halftime with about a quarter hour to go before the break? No foul whistled here, and a chance to surge for the blue side. Hoffman ladles it through the middle. Shank commits the foul.
Has been a bit of chippiness these last few minutes. Frustrations get a little bit high. But I always find it funny how in the women's game, ladies pop right back up. They can run through a brick wall and dust it off as soon as possible. Guys are really good at selling it. But I think those are some notes that we could take. Women could be better at selling it at times.
That game,
when it counts.
Game management portion of the game, right?
Yeah. You need to buy yourself some time or a breather. Take a couple rolls. Stop, drop, and roll.
Girls Academy Blue with 14 different teams represented from the Girls Academy here in this tournament. Also 14 for Girls Academy Red. And there are 7 teams that have at least one player on each team. This ball given away, tapped around, and here comes a break now for the blue team. Hoffman gets taken out, but she's the one that commits the foul.
Ooh, interesting call there. She's doing great just to get to it. She works around it, and not too sure about that call. I'll be honest. Looks like Red gets out in front, gets a tip on it, trips up attacker.
Of course, our center official in a much better position than we are to be able to make that call. But that was similar to how Red scored when Kirsch broke away from the pack, and it looked like maybe for a second Blue was going to have the rebuttal.
Yeah, it was looking pretty good, and could have been a bigger problem had that call gone the other way, especially being one of the last defenders. I mean, it was all ball there. It's just that she got tripped up in the process.
Hoffman slows. Here's Badger. Badger looking to unleash. Two defenders converge and take it away from her. Now Hoffman. Blue looks to counter, but cannot hold on to possession as Red takes over. And that's a foul on Falone.
Looked like a tough tumble there. Good to see her popping right back up. You know, you talk about, too, all the pressure. We'll have a look back at this first really quick. Yeah, just a little bit of both in that scuffle. But you talk about the pressure these ladies are under and how calm and composed they are despite that.
Moore snatched that ball right off of the free kick and then drop kicks it out.
This wind is tricky, starting to pick up a bit, and as you can see there, if you looked at her touch, I think without the wind it probably would have went right back in, but wind blew it out.
Wind has been gusty in the early morning hours the last 2 days. Ortiz gives it away. Soldano cuts it out wide. May arcs this ball inside of the 18. A miss hit, a bobble, and a clearance. Peterson hunts after it. Peterson does really well from her central defender spot to get there. Lebrecht tosses it up top. Hoffman recovers. Ortiz cycles this ball in. It ricochets off of the paws of Moore and stings the strings. Blue equalize just beyond the half-hour mark.
Beautiful work there, all started by Emma Peterson, just to get up and keep the pressure going, and it's that one-touch hit. The beautiful setup, just really good stuff. Can't quite get to it, just out of reach. I think she was setting up, thinking it might have gone to the right upper 90, but just wasn't able to get planted to actually get the outstretch to get there. Well done, Girls Academy Blue.
Isa Ortiz with her first goal of the tournament. The Florida United girl with the goal that ties things up. But as you mentioned, that whole sequence was made by Peterson. She comes from midfield to track that ball down about 25 yards away from the touchline to be able to get to it, and then her pass keeps things going. Hoffman sticks with it, and the goal put in by Ortiz to tie things up with 10 minutes to go before halftime.
Mark of absolute quality there, outside back. She's wearing the captain's band too, and you understand why after runs like that, and just having the awareness to know, hey, if I step a little bit higher here, I can maybe trap us in that corner. Probably could play a winger too if she wanted, but if I had to guess, probably love having her there in the back. Really reliant player. She's been 10 for 10 so far.
St. James goes to the middle of the field, carves out space for McGuire. Kirsch was the intended target as it rolls back to midfield. Castellanos skies this ball wide left.
Crystal, switch with Claire, please. Switch with Claire. You and Claire. Claire!
Well, Trish Hughes, the commissioner of Girls Academy, said when opportunity meets talent, women rise, and that this is just the beginning for this girls' academy side that continues to grow month after month. Roughly 16,000 players from 125 clubs from the U13s to the U19 levels. Haydock springs to the middle of the park, rolls this around, shuttled away up to midfield. Yet again, central defenders controlling the ball. To the wide side, Kirsch is now on the right. Kirsch crosses this in. Haydock was the only one there in a red kit. Kirsch, the goal scorer for red, dances again. May comes back to take it away. And now blue look to break.
Good thing about this game is there has been a lot of back and forth. You can see how the coaching has played out mid-game.
Carry Brad!
With blue's ability to build and red's ability to press. But even then, I would argue that the press isn't so high that it's, you know, irresponsible or that they've really been exposed. They've been able to manage if there's a counter. And forced blue to really work for the goal. Like we saw there was a combination that got the goal.
Middle of the field starting to open up with about 5 minutes to go before halftime. Hoffman measures, lays it wide. Lebrec has that ball roll away from her and out for a red throw. Busy start to the Sunday action around all the adjacent fields here in IMG Academy.
Find it, Kelly.
But all of the finals will be on this field. U16s to come up next. Real Salt Lake and LA Galaxy.
This field has seen its wear and tear, that's for sure, especially from the PK mark. I think this is the most PKs I've seen in my life in 1 week. But those shorter halves for men, that'll do it.
So many that they've had to switch the sides of the field in which they're going on, as the right side looks like the driving range.
Chipping green. Well,
we're closing in on the end of the first half. What do you think about what we've seen between these two sides?
Really good stuff on both sides. Not a ton of notes. I think what blue did in the attack was just really high quality combinations. And again, led by Emma Peterson just to convert that. And so I love to see something like that play out, especially at this level. And of course, you've got some really solid individual talent there at Girls Academy Red. Maybe can they get a little more cohesive? Here's a good chance to potentially build something rather than having to rely on maybe one or two breakaways. Can they get some combinations like that up top as well? And sometimes that depends on what's coming out of the midfield.
Kirsch gets bounced off of the ball. May twirls and unleashes Hoffman. Schneck rolls it into space, but May wasn't quite there in time. Tied at 1 here in the girls' division final. The first of our quadruple header here at the Generation Adidas Cup. And what a week it's been here in Bradenton, Florida. Some elite young talent on display throughout this week. Hoffman. This ball given away, and a foul is committed as Molly McGuire was stepping right in front. The Michigan Jaguar.
Kelly, come to this side. Come to this side, Kelly.
On for the restart. Red looked to get something here before the end of the half, into the 39th minute. This ball lofted in. It skims off of Battaglia, comes back out. Badger unable to get her hips around it, and ends up rolling that back where it's picked up by Freeman.
Yeah, that would have been a really good chance. Just didn't quite connect with it the way that she wanted to. But it's looking a lot better there in the attack for them. Makes a lot of sense to just build out small there versus going for the longer hit with these kinds of conditions.
Haydock the target. Battaglia lets it roll back to Freeman.
Could have been another good chance. That run started a little sooner on the diagonal.
McGuire cuts it wide. Claire Badger holds on to the ball for a moment, runs into a defender, and then Hoffman carries it to midfield where she's met by Frazier. St. James lines one up, and it hits Badger in the back, or Haydock rather in the back, and then St. James commits the foul.
It's unfortunate. Two Reds potentially on a break there.
Hearing 1 minute of stoppage time in this first half.
I feel like that adds up. Hasn't been too crazy.
So 1 more minute to go here in the girls' division final. A deadlock at this point. May slams the brakes on. Tries to shake Hahn, cannot do so, and Una Hahn does a really good job defensively.
That's amazing. I mean, from the turn to get into the attack, the footwork, and then even better defense there from Una Hahn. I just really love to see it. Not taking her eye off that ball for a second.
Corner kick for Blue here right at the edge of the first half. Their second of the match. And Emma Peterson heads over there. Set the stage for Ortiz's equalizer in the 31st minute. And now right on the final kick here of the first half. Peterson launches this ball inside of the box. Bodies tumble. Haydock clears. This rolls to midfield. And that is how the first half comes to a close. Tied at 1 here between Girls Academy Blue and Girls Academy Red. Enjoyable match, and 40 more minutes will tell the tale on who gets the trophy today.
Close call, and we wouldn't want to have it any other way.
An exciting first half here in the Girls Academy. Final between Blue and Red. Ortiz equalizes after Kirsch gets the opener in the 13th minute. We're at halftime at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. We'll have highlights from the U16 semifinals, setting the stage for the final coming up next.
My vibe.
Beautiful Bradenton, Florida, the site of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. And in the semifinal, it's LA Galaxy with a thrilling win over PSV Eindhoven. Michael Watrang, Kalen Carr, and our group with you. Recapping this match, and Aaron Medina bookended this matchup, and in the 5th minute, he started the scoring.
Yeah, it's really clever here from him to turn so well to it. It's often the second phase, the second ball on these dead ball situations, and he's just alert. He doesn't try to crush it. Excellent technique, head down, keeps his body on top of it, and gives the Galaxy the 1-0 lead here in the semifinal.
It took about 20 minutes, but PSV tied the score with a little help from the wind.
Yeah, and Tyron Stam has been bombing forward on this left flank all tournament. The Dutch Youth International stands this one up, and everyone stops it. So does the ball. It absolutely goes right in off the inside of that post. Well spotted from the AR.
3 minutes later, though, a fortuitous bounce for LA Galaxy, an own goal from Bobson.
Yeah, but credit to Viatora, who turns on it so well, faces up, and then asks a tough question, playing it hard and low across the box, and is desperately unlucky there from Bobson. The right foot, you can see, goes in. Pass mood, no chance to stop it. But I thought the shift in the second half from PSV was really smart, switching to 3 in the back. It allows Apia to tuck inside. He plays this ball into Hunta, and this is no easy finish here. He's facing away from goal and then feels the pressure coming out from Nelson. Clever little finish to tuck that one in.
His 3rd goal in as many knockout stage matches. And then how about this breathtaking pass from Chadwick to Medina?
In the last minute, how about this ball here from Eddie Chadwick? Perfect to the back post. And Aaron Medina, who else? Ghosting in. Most players make that run to the near post. That's the obvious one. Instead, he tucks to the far post. And what a finish. Excellent technique on the header to bring them back in this.
And then in the 6th minute of stoppage time, Apia gets in behind, draws the foul just outside of the 18.
At desperation moments, it's a long ball and brought down so well from Apia, who's been excellent all tournament. You can see Chadwick has him on the shoulders. He picks up a red. There was a second defender next to him. Last chance here from Tom Benz, just not able to get on top of it. And the Galaxy on with the celebrations and on to the final. Well deserved for them.
It was another dazzling effort from Real Salt Lake. A 2-0 clean sheet win over KRC Genk in the U16 semifinals. Alongside Kalen Carr, Michael Watrang recapping this one. And in the 4th minute, Javier Martinez makes it 1-0.
Yeah, they set the tone, draw the foul early, and then how about this service in from the center back, Jonas Georges, to the back post, and then right back across where it came from. Javier Martinez, the Mexican Youth International, with the finish and the celebration. Salt Lake, we're off to the races.
And then it's a giveaway from KRC Genk, and Rylan Hashimoto scores for the 3rd time in this tournament.
Yeah, he's clever, just kind of hiding behind, but in the right position to pick off anything that comes across, and it's a difficult giveaway there with the square ball. And Rylan Hashimoto, top scorer throughout the regular season, carries his good form forward into the knockout stages. Makes it look casual, celebrating with his teammates, but it was anything but that. Salt Lake off to the finals.
Go, get your feet down now. Sean, go! The effort we are doing in our academies is not only comparable to what I know from over in Europe, part of even better.
Let's go. Nice. Focus on tactics here. Then we'll talk about how we're going to use our heart. Remember, both of you, brain and heart. You're going to get us through.
The support staff, our head coaches, are all men that invest in these young men as people. And we have good men and women invested in these kids at the academy level daily. And I think that's what makes the pathway, that's what makes it special.
If you love soccer, then you want to be at the highest level, and I think is to be at MLS next.
If you don't have good coaches, you won't develop players.
I see a team that is ready for war. I see a team that is ready for war.
I think it's more of like a brotherhood. I think it's like there's a certain vibe like that goes around within the league, and I think like it's always very competitive. I think most kids like know each other because we play each other all the time. So I think it's more of a brotherhood than anything.
I've learned how to be a better person, a better teammate, a better friend, all these things, and it starts from the culture inside the facility of the crew.
Yeah, I know I'm really attracted. I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dochi? On. Stars on.
Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends on. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
The first ever girls division final is tied at 1. And how about this run from Bristol Kirsch in the 13th minute to start the scoring?
Just takes it all on her own. 2v1. Ends up being a 3v1 actually, and just finishes the deal there. Really great with that ball at her feet. full sprint and able to still find that angle. Doesn't need a ton, and it's the celebration for me that does it here. I love to see it.
Second goal of the tournament for Kirsch, and then this was all started from Emma Peterson's run, and Isa Ortiz beats the keep.
Coach Wellick had mentioned she's really comfortable on the ball. She wants the ball. It's really clear there off that one-touch hit. Keep just wasn't quite set, not able to get the outreach that she wanted to collect that one. And a big part of that was just the chaos that was being caused by that Girls Academy offense. The effort started there by Emma Peterson, created that great combination, allowed Ortiz to seal the deal.
So that's where we sit as we start the second half. 40 more minutes to decide the first ever Girls Division champion. Girls Academy Red and Girls Academy Blue, even at 1 goal apiece. Alongside Katie Goodman and our terrific MLS broadcast team here in Bradenton, Florida for the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. Michael Watfring with you, enjoying this, inviting you to stay with us throughout the day. This is the first of 4 matches here on the main field at IMG Academy. May lays that back and then launched down the park. There were a couple changes for each side. Lauren Craig, Jansen Ogren, and Lila Magyesi all come in for Girls Academy Red. This ball chipped around towards the top of the 18. Here's Magyesi. Tries to cut the angle, instead gets shut down there by Bembenek. Long ball down the field, rolls out. Blake Landry came in, Ashley Scott. Bembenek also came in for the blue side. Landry lays this up top. Here's Conway. Conway arcs this ball wide left.
Both teams coming out strong early. Love to see it. Again, all knotted up here. Anyone's game. As a reminder, if this is tied up, we've got 2 extra 5-minute halves. And then penalty kicks. But I'm sure they just want to finish it here in this half.
Landry lines. Landry's shot trickles wide, and it's gobbled up there by Kaylin Moore.
Effort is good there, but she might have had it before the pullback. She got a quicker trigger on that.
Gusty day here in Florida for this matchup. Girls Academy starting this relationship with MLS next in December of 2024.
Talk about the wind, and I think people forget that even on the ground the wind affects things, the pace of the ball. But what a chip in, almost behind.
That's not yours. That's it.
And when I know the chair's right there, or steps.
Red maybe can look to pick up the pace as they move into the attack. Quicker 1-2 touch. It's a good read there defensively. From Sydney May.
Hahn lays it back. And Girls Academy Red recycles this action.
Get there early, Brindley.
Despite the young age of this Girls Academy, as an organization, they have produced some talented players already. One of the stars was Chloe Ricketts. She played for Michigan Jaguars, now with the Washington Spirit. Became the youngest player to sign a deal at the time, just shy of her 16th birthday. Here's this ball cut in. Magyesi launches and it hits the right pipe.
That one had some smoke behind it. What a really good look there. Just getting into a Great scoring position. Gives yourself some space, cuts it to the favorite foot, and kisses the post. But a player with an absolute nose for goal. I love that she took it from that distance.
There's a run down the park. Knocked away. Toby Casgorgeous. The other halftime sub.
Talked about some of the... Hold that thought.
Another long ball. Kirsch barrels into Peterson, and Kirsch commits the foul. And finishing up on Chloe Ricketts real quick. She 30 appearances in all competitions for the Spirit. She had a goal against Gotham in the 2023 Challenge Cup, and also her younger sister is a 2015 Piper, and she gets a chance to play there, and Chloe comes back and coaches despite her young age, and the girls really look up to Chloe Ricketts with the Michigan Jaguar organization.
I can only imagine what a great connection to have and someone to look up to. And she also mentioned she coached the Amalia Villarreal, player at UT Austin, had the opportunity to call a couple of her games. And when you talk about players who stand out on the page, she's one of them. I mean, she can do it on both sides of the ball, the way she carries. And so it's obvious that we have really high quality coaches here in the mix too. This is a game, it's not just an opportunity for the players, but for the coaches as well. And so, you know it. You're working with someone really awesome when they can pump out that kind of talent time after time.
Talent and the growth of the sport fully evident. Castellanos angles this ball in. Battaglia sweeps it away. And one other player that came through the girls' academy of note, she came from Florida United, Kimmy Ascanio. Plays for San Diego Wave, signed a 3-year deal with the Wave in March of 2024. 14 appearances so far with San Diego, but she's also been a star for the U.S.'s U17. 6 goals and 15 caps, including 4 for the U.S.'s U17 side at the 2024 CONCACAF U17s.
Got an injury here. See, she's trying to walk it off. Sometimes it just feels weak.
Well, coming up at noon, we'll have our U16 championship match. Real Salt Lake, who has been so good defensively, stingy, closing in on 250 minutes without conceding a goal against LA Galaxy. Galaxy with a thrilling win against PSV Eindhoven. Aaron Medina's game winner in the 59th minute, propelling the Galaxy into the final. We'll have the call for you right here, coming up at noon.
Time, Caleb!
This ball rolls in the middle. Nobody takes over. McGuire had a piece of it, and maybe a little bit of that inexperience playing together showcased there.
And just a bit of a miscommunication, but still able to handle it okay there. But yeah, I mean, you mentioned a lot of these NWSL players making their way there at such a young age, younger than we've seen before a lot of times, and multiple young players. You know, we've got Alyssa Thompson, Lily Johannes, 16 years, making her way to the U.S. Went. Alyssa at 17. So, you know, I think the pressure gets higher and higher nowadays for these young ladies.
This ball rolled out wide. It comes back out. Han, who was injured earlier, back out there and strong. Pushes it forward. Magnesi trickles it through the middle. Swept away. May is the outlet. May swings it through the middle of the field. It's nudged along, splitting defenders here. Casgorgeous, she comes back with it, but commits the foul. Much to the disdain of the blue side.
Things really starting to heat up here again. Calling the physio on this one. Have a look back at it, and it looks like when she went in for that body check, There's potentially a roll or a tweak of the ankle or the knee. Hard to say.
Our third game of the day is the U18 Premier Bracket. It'll be Palmeiras against Nashville coming up in the 2:30 time slot. Nashville, quite the way to get there. A couple 1-0 wins and then needing penalties to take out Sporting KC. Palmeiras on the other side, blowing out DC United 2-0 against San Jose and then holding off Charlotte in a excellent semifinal match to get to the final as Nashville looks to take the U18 Premier Bracket coming up at 2:30. Adidas, the big sponsor of this, are trying to advance this game. We talked to Zola Short the other day about what Adidas is providing for soccer in this country, and a lot of their conversations have certainly focused around the fact that in 2026 the World Cup will be in the States, and how do they take advantage of that opportunity to try to expand and grow the game?
Makes sense that they'd partner with Major League Soccer. This organization here, Girls Academy, notorious for pumping out talent. Never a good sign when you see someone being carried off the field. Really hoping all the best for her.
So an injury here in the final. Maya Berger is going to come in as the change for Red. And the relationships of these girls take center stage for the moment versus the competition. We certainly hope that that young lady is all right after this. And with about 40 minutes to play, or 30 minutes rather to play, it's a 1-1 matchup. Delaney Frazier, the one that was injured. Goals are tied at 1 apiece. Kirsch scored on a breakaway in the 13th minute. Ortiz hit one from just outside of the 18 in the 31st minute to tie it up for the blue side. And that's where we sit right now in the first ever Girls Division Championship match at the Generation Adidas Cup. Michael Watring, Katie Goodman in our group with you here, inviting you to hang out with us the rest of the day here at the Generation Adidas Cup. May pops this ball into the sky. Angled back along. Landry. Peterson again intervenes. Peterson unable to funnel this ball forward. Craig arcs it around. Kirsch chases on. Kirsch has a break again. Kirsch being defended by Peterson. Peterson bobbles. Kirsch finds space. Kirsch directs. And it's pushed aside by Freeman.
Really love seeing that carry there from Kirsch. I mean, the awareness not to just go bulldozing through the keeper, but to pull it back, try to find some space horizontally. Just can't fully connect with it is what it looks like here. Oh, she gets a good connection, just can't get the placement, but good job on keep to parry that one away. Thought for a split second it was going to be a second goal for her.
Instead, it's a corner kick here. St. James curls it inside of the box. Kirsch is over there. Peterson flips it out. These two teams met in game number 2. And girls blue won that match 2-1. Sorge had the pivotal goal right before halftime. Ogren out wide. St. James has a goal in this tournament. Pushes it forward. Berger. It's the return pass from Magyesi. And over to spike it away is the goal scorer for the blue side, Ortiz.
St. James, another lady that pops off the page for me. It's her ball control. It's her vision of the field. It's really obvious and apparent. I mean, she can really work out of some tight and tricky spaces. Not like the ball is glued to her foot type situation. We all know that kind of player.
Thank you. Ball sent off the field, so got to get one out here from midfield. Una Han will take this throw. Shots are just about even. Red has a one-shot advantage overall in the match. This cross loops around. Kirsch goes down inside of the box. Peterson was defending her, and our center referee says, I didn't see anything.
Good opportunity to spread the field here if you're Red. Need a little bit more movement. Connect passes. But Blue did a great job of getting out and creating pressure there.
Ashley Scott to reset. Pummels this ball down the pitch. May hunts after it and watches it roll out, and it'll be the third corner of the match for the blue side. Emma Peterson's duty here. Peterson puts the ball down. As Casgorgeous next to her. Peterson lines this ball low, skims off the grass. It's picked up by May. Back for Peterson. Peterson angles it through. It's knocked down right at the penalty spot before the red group clears.
Some good defensive work there from Red, but Blue just needing to find a way to regain possession and start playing with some intent again.
Scott twirls. Scott now works up the field. Lays it forward, but Hahn is over there to intercept. Nagyesi drives. Nagyesi works now towards the middle of the field. Chips it over. It's intercepted. Nicely defended by Bambanek. And her pass will roll all the way down and out for a goal kick here. Closing in on the 1 hour mark of this one. Remember, 40-minute halves for 80-minute games. Should we need any further, 2 5-minute extra times to try to decide it in the run of play. If needed, penalties after that.
Of course, the girls teams not having as many games, which is why there's that change in time. Wanted to give them some more quality minutes. All makes sense. And that 5-minute extra time ought to be a bloodbath if we get to that point. But again, everyone keeping it classy out here, which is always nice to see. Playing.
That ball goes out yet again. Another corner kick and a second chance now for Peterson and company in the second half. Off of a corner. Peterson lines it up. Peterson bends this ball, back post, headed right back into a dangerous territory. Kirsch clears, knocked out. Ortiz. Craig has it. Looking to transition. It's Craig. The only option that she had there was Maya Berger. It eludes her. Rolls back to Scott. Taken right back, however. Inside of the box, this ball rolls. It's picked up from Battaglia, and she sweeps it away as we hit the 1 hour mark in this matchup. Tied at 1. Girls Academy Red scoring the opener in the 13th minute. A brilliant run from Bristol Kirsch providing the goal. And then in the 31st minute, it was Ortiz tying things up as we'll get our hydration break here just beyond this 1 hour mark on the pitch at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup in a 1-1 matchup in this first ever girls division final.
That was a good last effort, but just couldn't get numbers up. And I think this hydration break is going to change things. Nice to be all in one spot getting coaching points too. That's a game changer. So feels kind of like a mini halftime.
Well, our final match of the day and of the tournament will be in the U18 championship. The oh so talented Orlando City side that has all the goal scoring prowess that you need. 3-0 against Santos Laguna in the semifinal, and then a Colorado Rapids side that hasn't allowed a goal so far. What do you see out of that matchup coming up in the nightcap?
Orlando City is the team favored to win it all, and you kind of saw why they're against Santos Laguna. They put it away really early. Incredible matchup. And then you have the Rapids, who have done a really great job defensively. So it's going to be defense versus offense type situation. Wondering if Colorado Rapids are going to come out in a higher press mentality. They do a really great job of, despite the 4-3-3 lineup coming up with high press, they move great as a unit. Probably the most organized team I've seen out here. So I think Orlando City is going to have some trouble breaking them down, but you've got guys like Justin Ellis over there for Orlando City, and he's just an absolute baller.
We had a great crowd here yesterday as well for the Colorado Rapids side. An excellent atmosphere over in the bleachers to watch that matchup in the semifinal, to see them all the way through against Atlanta United. And that will be how we cap things off. Orlando City and Colorado Rapids in the U18 championship bracket. Match number 1 here of the day. See Girls Academy Blue and Girls Academy Red even at 1 apiece. They met in game 2 of the group, and it finished 2-1 in favor of the blue group. Red looking to avenge that. Michael Watring, Katie Goodman, and the rest of our team with you here for the stretch run of this one. 80-minute games. So less than 20 minutes to go to try to decide this before extra time is required.
And still lots of depth to pull from too. So interesting to see how things kind of start to open up after this.
Here's Scott. Scott gets shut down. Freeman.
Red doing well to defend high up the field too. Really important there. I think would have been a good chance to squeeze in a little bit, try to force them wide.
Sent a good outlet pass in May. Trickles it back out. Landry circles. She does get there before it hits the chalk. Landry skies this ball all the way across to the back post. And that one ends up bouncing out for a goal kick.
Sometimes these hydration breaks are a little tough to get your rhythm back and going and moving, but kind of got to have that mentality that we're going to start really fast and strong here, just like you did the half.
Red have a 6-4 shot advantage overall in the match. Meg Yessi has it here. She gets taken off the ball. Fine defensive work from Isa Ortiz. Cradles this ball forward. It's Conway, the team's leading goal scorer with 2 in the tournament. Soldano gets fouled, and this is a good opportunity if they can time the wind right.
Yeah, that's the tough part about the spot we're at now is the wind's so chaotic. Changes directions a bit, ebbs and flows. But at this point, as a college player, you've dealt with this before. It's nothing new. Just something to be aware of.
Kendall Conway has the honors here. Conway plays for La Morinda in California as she hooks this ball around, and that ball ends up on top of the netting.
That was a really good chance there. Thought maybe it was going to drop and make it to that left 90, but it's just the roof of the goal. I like that she went for it.
Red makes a change. The leading goal scorer in the girls division comes in. Carolina Odiziak. 3 goals so far. Plays in New Jersey for STA. Could very well be a finisher in this matchup for the red group. Blue looking to have a rebuttal, however. Landry circles. Landry unfurls one that hits a defender's boot. Bodiziak, those fresh legs, gallops past the first defender. A second comes over to help. And Bambanek, and a throw in here for Red.
She does a great job of showing the very clear passing lane and where she wants it. It's how she was able to get up in that corner. Sometimes just sheer communication.
McYessie gets the redirect here that falls into the paws of Freeman.
Don't think I was expecting her to pop up that fast and take that little turn. Well done, McYessie. But yeah, I think we're going to see a more dynamic attack here with Bodiziak in the mix. She's also got the stature, a lot taller than a lot of these ladies on the field.
McYessie. Intended target there was Castellanos. Couldn't slow it down.
Idea was good, just a little bit off on the timing.
Already seeing a little bit of a difference in the pace of play here for Red with Bodiziak out there. Ogren. Hahn slices defenders with that pass. Magyezi. Hahn dances away from May. Bodiziak shoots this ball down the field. Magyezi not on the same page.
Good work from Hahn just to recover that one. I think across the board for Red, it's releasing the ball a little bit faster, also a little bit more pace on it. I think maybe the days are starting to add up here. The heat is kicking in, and you've got to keep that intensity high. Even if it's not a high press, you can still be intense with the way that you're operating as an individual. Coach Jeff Hughes had mentioned it's about also winning your individual battles, and having accountability for the ball is going to be really key here.
His message to the team was that this will be the first one. Everybody's going to remember who wins the first ever girls division final at the Generation Adidas Cup. A little bit of extra incentive for the red group. They had the opening goal back in the 13th minute. Blue equalized in the 31st. Goals from Kirsch and Ortiz respectively. Who will be the hero in this final? Rolled onto that right foot, but taken away defensively by Brindley Walsh against Casgorgis.
Good hustle down that flank. Got a really good matchup in the outside backs and wingers on that side. Just not a lot to come through.
Here's May. May bobbles that ball and ends up hitting a defender in the head. Molina, who just came on, takes a swing at one, but not a second as it rolls out, and it's a goal kick.
Unlucky clearance. We've all been there, just trying to get out of the way, and you can't in time. I like what Han was going for there, just trying to clear it outside the boot. Had some good power behind it, too.
Will either side be able to win this before extra time is required? This ball given away. It's Ortiz. Ortiz lays it through the middle. May runs into two different defenders. Soldano against Bodiziak. Bodies hit the deck. No whistle there for an infraction. Walsh rolls it back. And Caleb Moore resets. Bodiziak brings it in. And a chance to charge here. Berger. Nagyezi. 1v1 against the defender here. Lila Mayezi gets space, lays it up top. An overlapping run in the end from Kirsch. Hits a defender and rolls back to the keeper, Freeman.
I love the awareness from Kirsch there to hold her run. Things got a little stagnant. Doing a good job just to get that ball through, but it's Kirsch holding her run that almost made that a really close call.
This ball rolled around defenders. Molina chases. Brianna Molina looks for space, cuts it across, hits the deck, gets back up. Molina chips this ball in, and there's more. Long ball. Things starting to open up here with about 8 minutes to go before extra time. Kirsch shut down that time.
What a good matchup between Kirsch and Emma Peterson. Obviously two really quality ladies out here. Peterson running that outside back roll like a clinic, doing a good job getting up as well, and also handling Bristol Kirsch on the other side.
Ortiz steals, and May was trying to get on that ball too, but in the end, it ends up falling back. Two more. Ortiz thought she had the perfectly timed steal to give her team the advantage. This ball slices out.
I think sometimes the struggle that teams find is they're moving really well across the back line with a lot of pace when they see the pressure coming, but it's when the pressure isn't coming. It's how do you maintain that pace, that type of rhythm, so that when you play it forward, it's already got that pace on it. Talk about teams getting into flow states, and a lot of times it starts with the defense and how they're pacing the back line.
Bodiziak, her header gets away from her, allows Casgorgis to run forward, rolls it back. Moore, May pressures. Moore gets it to midfield, but only as far as Soldano. Ortiz again lines it up, and yet again Moore is there. Ortiz, so dynamic in her skills. Can she just get inside of the 18?
It was a close call for Moore there. Did good just to clear it out.
75th minute. Reminder, 80-minute games, so closing in on the end of this one. Molina takes over. Bumps and rattles against Castellanos.
Quickly.
We have some of their center mids trying to move and open up passing lanes, but you got to keep it moving when you see the other team strikers starting to press your back line. That's your job, to find an open passing lane. Make it as easy as possible for your back line to build out.
Ortiz nearly had an empty space, but now she does. Ortiz lays it off. May, not enough pace on it. And scrambling back defensively, Brynlee Walsh to clear.
Brynlee Walsh has been hustling from the get-go. There's that first tackle she had really early on. Weren't sure which way that call was going to go, but it was all ball. Just totally laid her body out for it.
Lauren Bambanek tosses this ball. Bambanek plays for Trisha Wellock, the coach of Girls Academy Blue, as well as the Michigan Jaguars. Bambanek throws it in over the head of May. It's given right back, however. It's gorgeous. Goal kick. Well, Katie, if somebody's just tuning in here now, tied at 1 apiece, how do you describe what we've seen so far between the two Girls Academy teams?
Well, we've got some really dynamic forwards up top for Girls Academy Red, some really quality individual talent, and starting to really connect up top, I think, now in these final minutes. But Girls Academy Red done really well to not only build out of the back, but to create some really tricky combinations up top. So feels a lot like the ability is really spread across their attack there. But Girls Academy Red with some really close opportunities here recently. Still waiting for Carolina Bodziziak to open up some more scoring. She has such an incredible ability, and she did come off the bench, as you've mentioned, leading the women's scoring line here in this tournament.
Ortiz lays it off. It's Conway inside of the box. A massive collision. The ball is won, and the shot angles out wide. Off of the save from Moore.
That was a huge collision. We'll look back at it here, 2-on-1, both ladies going for the ball. And it's always dangerous when you get tangled up like that. Really surprised there was no foul called there. I mean, it was all ball. But again, ref right there in that replay to see it, so. But you have the coaching staff questioning it at the moment. Having a look back at it again here. And some ball.
Well, nothing in the end for Blue. They get a corner kick here. Peterson laces this ball in. It bobbles and comes to the foot of Conway, and she skies it over the top.
Really too bad. I thought maybe ref was trying to play advantage after that foul. We look at the scuffle here. Just, I think the angle that it came to her, she wasn't able to get over and drive it. But when you look at that takedown in the box there, I thought maybe she was trying to play advantage so that she could get the second hit, which was close.
Pressure here from Blue. They're into double digits for shots overall in the match. They have 8 here in the second half. Ball rolls back to the top of the 18. Gets pushed up the field. A chance perhaps to break. St. James. Negezi. 1v1. Cuts it through the middle. Nearly stumbles. Tosses it all the way through up top and a long distance lays. Oh, that's brilliant! Molly Maguire might have just struck with a match winner and a championship winner. The Michigan Jaguar puts Girls Academy Red in front 2-1.
An absolute bench clearing banger. Great work finding her on this one. She comes in, she sees the space, no hesitation. Puts it away, upper 90, probably the goal of the tournament here for these ladies.
Finish it out, Red! Finish it
You've got coach saying, finish it out, don't let it go for anything. And what an absolute standout finish from Molly Maguire. Second goal of the tournament for her. Just having the wherewithal to come in and read that space. Really spectacular.
Just an absolutely incredible strike. And with 4 minutes of stoppage time, trying to see this one all the way through now. Changes. Avery Williamson is in for blue. McGuire is coming out to the celebration of her teammates, but still time left. Catherine Oliveira and Kate Fulton are the two that come in for Girls Academy Red. Looking to watch this one all the way out now. What a goal. What an absolute golazo from long distance. And what a way to introduce yourself to this tournament for the Girls Academies. Trish Hughes, the commissioner of Girls Academy, said, we didn't just show up, we showed out. No question about that on that long distance strike from McGuire that could be the game winner.
It's one of those goals that gets everyone out of their seat. Jaw dropped, and it's just sunk it. Great power, kept it low, drove it in, no notes.
Molina spins this ball through, and a chance for an equalizer from Williamson on her first touch. Cannot direct it home.
Almost made him pay for that pretty quickly after. Great job getting to the corner there, trying to put it to the 5. Very Sophia Smith does a great job of getting to that inline, pulling defenders with her, opens up the 5 area.
Well, the blue had the run of the play before that for a good 5 to 10 minutes. And now here's Bodiziak. Bodiziak fires it wide. It's Kirsch. Kirsch sprints to the middle of the field. Kirsch lines it up, uncorks one that hits a defender. Comes back out on the twirl. It's Fulton. Lays it out. Negezi. Time dwindling for blue to try to get back in this. Negezi drifts to the corner. A bobble, a kick, out for a throw. And how about how this one would end? It would be a Michigan Jaguar, Molly Maguire, that wins it for Team Red against the Michigan Jaguars coach and the coach of Girls Academy Blue, Trisha Wellock.
Sure not something she can be too mad about, considering she, I'm sure, helped produce that talent.
A chance to maybe put this one away. If Red can hold on to it, this ball gets cleared. Jeff Hughes leaps, doesn't catch though. That's got to be gutting if you're the blue side though.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do about that other than maybe track back and defend? But she saw the pocket, she took it. And it happens sometimes. You're so focused on what they've been doing, which is carrying the ball, carrying the ball. Haven't been a ton of late runs, but that's what did it.
And that is the final whistle. Girls Academy Red, the first ever girls division champions. Molly McGuire with a brilliant goal from distance wins it 2-1.
I mean, great stuff all the way around. Beautiful carry from Bristol Kirsch in the beginning, and then the absolute banger from Molly McGuire. And of course, on the other side, great teamwork from Academy Blue, the combination play. And it was Isabella Ortiz to put it away on that side. But again, these ladies can walk away from this head high. They made it to the finals and on one of the best teams in America. So ladies, pat yourselves on the back, and I'm looking forward to where you all end up here in the future.
Player of the match is Molly McGuire, presented by Adidas. And these two all-star teams pave the way for the future of women's academies at the Generation Adidas Cup. A strong showing. Indeed, in the end, it is red that avenges a group stage loss to blue and captures the trophy in this tournament. What a performance it was by red, sustaining against this blue side. Well, in the end, you have to be impressed by the abilities that these two teams provided. And Jeff, you said it. You only get a chance to be the first champion one time, and they were able to succeed here today.
That they did. An absolute landmark moment, and in such a good game, in such great fashion. It was entertaining from top to bottom. Even in the slow moments, you could see where the wheels were turning and they were trying to break through. But beautiful goal from Bristol Kirsch. Banger from Molly McGuire, and also a beautiful one touch there from Isabella Ortiz. So just quality all the way around. Really happy to see it. And for these ladies, the sky is the limit. You know, great opportunity to have all these eyes on them in these huge moments, and just excited to see it all.
The first ever girls division final ends up being a thriller. Down to the final minute, Girls Academy Red wins over Girls Academy Blue. Michael Watring, Katie Goodman, and her team wrapping things up on the girls division final. And in the beginning, how about Bristol Kirsch's run? 13th minute, a breakaway goal.
First it's a 2v1, then it's a 3v1 once she beats the keep. Just having that goal awareness despite being a full-out sprint, able to find the angle and just slot it right past. Tough day for the keeper there, but great day for Bristol Kirsch.
And the celebration, a little Macarena from Girls Academy Red, off and rolling in the girls division final. But in the 31st minute, Emma Peterson made a long run before this to get the ball, and Isabella Ortiz hit it well.
I love the way she set herself up for that. You can see a little bit of a bend in the run. She takes it first time. Keep isn't able to get set and change direction to get that outreach to deny it. So great stuff there from Isabella Ortiz.
Tied at 1 all the way until the end. Blue had a long run of play, but Molly McGuire with the hit of a lifetime.
She sees the space, she runs onto it, hits it first time. Absolute banger to put that away with the pace, the drive. She keeps it low, runs right through it. No keeper is going to stop that.
Molly McGuire with the game winner in the 80th minute in Girls Academy Red, the first ever champions of the girls division at Generation Adidas Cup. And here in Bradenton, Florida, the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup, Girls Academy Red takes out Girls Academy Blue for the championship. The first trophy to be hoisted today at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. We will have all the trophy presentations and the recap from this one here in just a few moments, as Girls Academy Red will collect their hardware here at IMG Academy. 3 more matches to come here today, including the U16 championship bracket. It's Real Salt Lake. And what a journey it has been for that group. 1-0 against FC Tokyo, 2-0 against both Charlotte and Genk to reach the final. A dynamic performance from them. Meanwhile, LA Galaxy, an easy win over Nashville late in that one. Penalties over Montreal required, and then an impressive showing from PSV Eindhoven. But in the end, Aaron Medina, 59th minute game winner, provides our table for an all MLS final in the U16 championship bracket. Kickoff for that slated for about noon between RSL and LA Galaxy in the U16 championship. Girls Academy Red, the victors in the girls division against Girls Academy Blue, and getting ready for the trophy presentation to be handled to our left-hand side by Luis Robles. For this one, we will send it over in his direction as he prepares to hand out the hardware at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup.
Check, check, check. For all those in attendance, thank you for being here. We'd like to take this moment to acknowledge some of our participants, but also some words from Major League Soccer, MLS Next. Congratulations to Girls Academy for hosting the first ever girls division at Generation Adidas Cup. On behalf of Major League Soccer and MLS Next, we look forward to our ongoing work together, but we do want to take a moment to celebrate what's taken place and honor our participants. I'd like to introduce Tina from Girls Academy.
Thank you, Luis. First of all, I would just like to say a heartfelt gratitude to MLS and Adidas for their unwavering support for the Girls Academy. This week has been nothing short of amazing. Players, your grit, your determination, your skill on the field, you have represented the Girls Academy well this week. It's a tremendous job. Good job. Coaches and support staff, thank you for your dedication, your leadership, and all your work this week, pouring into these young women and providing opportunities for them they will remember for the rest of their life. Once again, I want to thank Adidas, MLS, and look forward to our continued partnership and success in the future for Generation Adidas Cup.
So next up, we want to take a moment to say thank you to our officiating staff who not only did an incredible job all week, but managed the final for the girls division at the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup. So please come up and grab your medals.
And congratulations to the Girls Academy Blue Team, finalists of the first ever Generation Adidas Cup.
Next up, we have the first ever champions from the girls division of the Generation Adidas Cup, the Girls Academy Red Team.
Ladies, Sophia's going to come with the trophy in the middle. You guys are going to do celebration. She's going to raise it, and then you guys go and dance down after all the right?
And let's give it up for the champions, the 2025 Girls Bracket Generation Adidas Cup champions, Girls Academy Red.
In an absolute thriller in the girls' division final, it is Girls Academy Red getting a winner from Molly McGuire in the 80th minute to take the first ever trophy at the Generation Adidas Cup. What a way to start the day. 3 more to come, including the U16s. LA Galaxy and Real Salt Lake come your way next. This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.